Hi-ho! 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 It's home from work we go.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, made all the way back in 1937. But does it still hold up to today's standards? So I'm going to tell you the tale of Snow White and all of her mind-boggling, questionable decisions. The movie starts out with some reading material. That's nice. If I wanted to read Snow White, I would have gotten the book. It must be a stylistic choice because I can just infer this information from watching the movie. Come on, show don't tell, guys. Snow White is singing around the wishing well, granting wishes to animals left and right. Like, I'm sorry, what are the birds wishing for? More bird seed? Since Snow White is, an actual person, she wished for a prince. Yep, that's what he's called, the prince. Don't worry, that's pretty much the extent of his character. Instead of hooking up with the prince that she wished for, she goes into the castle, runs away, and hides. Bad decision number 1. I think I'm gonna start counting. Anyways, the evil queen asks the magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? One of the most broad terms I've ever seen. Can you imagine being on a dating app? I'm the fairest one of all. Yeah, they're gonna get a lot of swipes. The whole conflict could have been avoided if the evil queen had more of a specific answer. So the evil queen needs to kill Snow White so she can be the fairest one of all.
You will kill her.
The huntsman is tasked with killing Snow White, and to prove that he actually killed Snow White, he has to bring back Snow White's heart in a little tiny box. Guys, what are we doing? This is a children's movie. The huntsman can't kill Snow White, so he tells Snow White that the queen is crazy and she should run into the woods. And wow, does she run. And run. And run. The whole scene is Snow White going,
Oh no, oh no, oh shit, oh look, it's an owl.
wait, isn't Snow White supposed to be friends with the animals? Oh, I guess it just doesn't work in scary places. Snow White calms down and apologizes to all the animals for making a scene with another song. I'm beginning to see a pattern. Snow White asks the woodland creatures where there's a place she can stay. Yes, Snow White trusts these animals with her Airbnb reservation. Well, that's really what it is, isn't it? A little cottage in the woods owned by the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White breaks into the cottage, and with her foolproof logic, she believes that cleaning the house will convince whoever's there to let her stay. If someone breaks into my house, cleans it, and then waits for me to come home, they're still going in a squad car. She doesn't really clean the house, Mother Nature does it for her. Snow White just stands around watching the animals clean dishes, remove cobwebs, and even dust the floor. Snow White is tired after doing all that work and decides to go upstairs and lay down over a couple of beds. Of course, I'm talking about the Seven Dwarfs. Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey. Their names explain exactly what their character traits are like.
We dig, 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 dig from early morn till night. We dig, 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 dig up everything inside.
This is probably my favorite song in the whole film. Like, this song is a jam. I'm cheering for the Seven Dwarfs now. Snow White, you haven't earned my trust. Too many bad decisions. The Seven Dwarfs march to the cottage and realize the door has been left wide open. Suspicious. I like for the reason they think Snow White is a monster is because the place is clean. First impressions are everything. As much as I love the Seven Dwarfs, I find them quite charming, but every time they're on screen, the pacing comes to a screeching halt. Like, do I need 10 minutes of the Seven Dwarfs trying to wash their hands? Like, is this a PSA or something? The evil queen asks the same question to the magic mirror again, and she realizes that Snow White is still alive. This leads to the most convoluted two-part plan for a simple task. 1. Convince Snow White to eat the poison apple so she'll fall into a deep, endless sleep. 2. Disguise herself as an ugly old woman to deliver the apple directly to Snow White. Now, I'm not an expert here, but couldn't the evil queen just give the ugly potion to Snow White? Instead of, I don't know, killing her? Like, I get she's that petty, but come on.
Thirsty? Have a drink.
The evil queen shows up outside the dwarf's cottage as Snow White is baking some gooseberry pies. If I saw an old woman with a black cloak and an evil cackle, I would straight up run away and close the door. Snow White, she's basically telling you, I'm gonna murder you. But apparently Snow White has no sense of stranger danger. Snow White lets the supposed old woman into the cottage and without any hesitation takes a bite of the magic apple. Wow, the evil queen's plan actually worked. I mean, even the freaking wildlife is smarter than Snow White and goes to warn the 7 dwarfs. I just have to mention the chase sequence between the evil queen and the 7 dwarfs because this is really amazing animation. So kudos to the animators who painstakingly animated each frame of the sequence. For 1937, this stuff was incredible, even by today's standards. The queen fails at life, but succeeds in putting Snow White in an endless sleep. Why is this scene so sad, by the way? I haven't felt this much emotion since Bambi's mom took a double barrel to the clouds. So insert character here, the prince, shows up because he hears there's a princess that is stuck in an endless sleep and goes to kiss her. Well, that's definitely creepy. The spell is obviously reversed and Snow White goes back to normal. And they live happily ever after. Yay. The end. Yeah, so that was the tale of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Relatively tame and simple for Disney and animated films that we expect in today's day and age. But for 1937, this film was groundbreaking. And if you can take anything away from this film, there would be no other animated films without it. Just appreciate it for being the first cel animated feature film.